Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for June 22, 2023 is the Supreme Court for Sale edition. And we begin with that story from the New York Times, and it, of course, deals with Justice Sam Alito, who had a luxury fishing trip paid for by a litigant in front of the court. And then, of course, the litigant was on the trip as well. Alito responded to questions who said that, well, I don't have to disclose because, I'm Sam Alito. So the Supreme Court is just spiraling down into a cesspool of corruption. And I don't know if they think they're above it or they don't get it or whatever the situation is, but it's seriously not good. Next up from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Dylan Tokar reporting that Google Cloud has launched an AML tool for banks. Financial institutions have long relied on human judgment to calibrate systems to spot potentially risky transactions and customers. Google wants to let AI take greater control of that process. Alphabet's cloud business on Wednesday announced the launch of a new AI-driven AML tool. The Google Cloud aims to set itself apart by doing away with the rules-based programming that is typically an integral part of setting up and maintaining an AML surveillance program. Next up, also from the Wall Street Journal, Huawei and ZTE employees have been tracked to suspected Chinese spy sites in Cuba. If this turns out to be correct, I think the U.S.'s problems with Huawei and ZTE are going to only become much, much deeper, and that it's probably going to end with a total ban on doing business with these two companies. And our final story comes to us today from Reuters, which reports that the FTC accused Amazon of duping millions of customers into enrolling in Amazon Prime, the program paid subscription that Amazon has. And the FTC sued Amazon in federal court in Seattle, alleging the company has knowingly duped millions of customers into unknowingly enrolling in Prime. That Amazon used manipulative, coercive, and deceptive user interface designs to trick customers into enrolling in Prime and then making it extraordinarily difficult for them to cancel. So more trouble for Amazon. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.